Hi, this is Dave with Dave Friedman team. We have had a ton of questions recently about rental management companies, and I just figured if we brought Darin on from Charleston Home Rentals, he's the man when it comes to all this stuff. We actually send all of our referrals over to them because they've personally taken great care of me and all the rental homes that I have. So I'm always very much willing to refer everybody over to Darin at Charleston Home Rentals just because of the personal experience that I've had. And also the experience that a lot of our clients have had that have worked with them too. So Darin, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long has Charleston Home Rentals been in business?
Well, thanks, Dave. We're certainly glad to be here, and I'm glad to be here. Charleston Home Rentals has been around for 15 years, and we're in our 15th year now. And I've known the two fellows who started the company since we were kids, so we've all been buddies for a long time now, more than 35 years. So it's nice to be here in Charleston. It's a great place to have a business, and we're happy to be your preferred vendor and in the property management side. So as you mentioned, we focus on helping our clients, owners and investors who are thinking about putting a property into management. We walk them through the process and bring them right to the point where we find a tenant for them and rent the property on their behalf. So, in 15 years of business, we've done lots of things to put processes and things in place. Just, we have a team approach similar to the Dave Friedman team. And we have specialists and things like that are working on various things. I am focused on business owner relations, but I wanted to tell you about a new thing that we just started 3 months ago.
This is super exciting. When you told me about this a few months ago, I was fired up about this. This is such a great program for owners and also for tenants too.
It really is, and we're the only management company in Charleston currently offering this service. And what we've done is we've partnered with two of the major credit reporting agencies, and we are now able to offer our tenants a building of credit history, because every time they pay their rent on time, they're adding to their credit history and building good credit for the first time. For many of our tenants, this is the first opportunity to really make an impact on their credit, which, of course, as you know, works well down the road when those renters eventually want to become owners and start talking to the Dave Friedman team. Then they'll have,
I hope so.
Yeah, they'll be ready to go. They'll have a good credit history and things like that.
And I feel like there's the value to the tenant in wanting to rent one of my properties, or obviously the ones that you're helping us rent, is that they know that they're going to build their credit. And like you said, a lot of them haven't had that opportunity in their life to even learn about credit. And so it'll make the homes that you're offering for rental more appealing than other people's homes that are for rent.
We like to believe, we see the opportunity, the positive of being able to do this. I mean, all of our tenants pay their rent on a regular basis, so why not take advantage of building that credit history and getting those positive marks every month that you've paid your rent on time.
Also, I know there's other benefits I can think of off the top of my head, but what are some other benefits that come out of this too?
Well, the other side for our owners out there and our investors that are looking at it, obviously, these kinds of processes are great for them as well. It gives us a position to be able to address certain issues in relations and fees and rentals and things like that. And so we never want to cross those bridges, but if they do, it puts us in a strong position to be able to navigate those waters.
Yeah, I think in a lot of situations, if a tenant's behind on rent, they have nothing to lose. They feel like they're not obligated to pay it back. But if credit's important to them, which it should be,
it is,
and they'll probably learn that through this process, then they're more apt to go ahead and pay their rent. And I think a lot of rental management companies will also check people's credit history, right?
Well, that's the other advantage, of course. It builds that history. So whether they're going to buy a home or just, continue their rental careers, it'll give them a proven track record if they pay their rent on time. And every management company is looking for that. We check every resident for that.
Let's talk more about that.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I have some rentals that are out there.
Right.
I need to make sure I get a great tenant in there that pays their rent on time, takes great care of the home just like it's theirs. So what are you doing to ensure we get those people?
It's a great question. Not only that, it's one of our most common questions asked by our owners. They want to make sure that the tenants that are going in are quality tenants and they're not going to have problems. And by the way, as the management company, we don't want any problems either, right? We want great tenants, pay on time, take care of the properties, because we're the ones that have to deal with them day in and day out.
Yeah.
So of course we want them to be great tenants. So we have a proven process. Every tenant goes through the same process, okay? Background checks include financial, criminal, of course. And then additionally, we're doing credit checks, employment verifications, so that they know they can pay the rent.
Yeah.
Very important thing we do at Charleston Home Rentals, we ask for past rental history. So who are your previous landlords and your previous property management firms? And we call them up and make sure that you've been a good tenant. And if there's any negative things there, we want to kind of know about it. But most of the checks come back strong, and when they do, we move them into the properties.
Yeah. You have any good stories with a criminal background check? Have you ever found any like axe murders or anything like that?
Yeah, fortunately for us, we not too much on that side. We're lucky. I think maybe because of the types of properties that we rent and things like that, we're not experiencing that too much. But nonetheless, you still have to go through those processes with everybody and be very, very diligent to make sure that they don't come up on the radar.
Right. How do you establish rental rates? You meet somebody, of course, biggest question they probably have, I imagine, is how much can I rent this place for?
It's the starting point of all of our conversations, right? So most of our owners or investors are looking at a property or considering the leasing market. The first question they ask is, how much can I get for my place?
Yeah.
And so we do a very thorough analysis. This is my job specifically. I work with our owners and investors.
You do a great job at it, because I get these things all the time.
And your agents request them all the time. So this is again the partnership. We're in the rental business. You're in the selling and buying business.
Yeah.
Okay. So when your agents have a client that might be interested in investment property, they call me all the time and say, can you help me understand what the rental market looks like today? And as we know, it changes every day, every week. So we want to get a current snapshot and where we are right now. So we produce a CMA, a comparative market analysis on the rental side, send it off to you that you can walk through with your owner, or the owners can look at. And it's the beginning process for trying to understand the rental rates.
And of course, you tell them a rental rate, but that's not necessarily what they're going to get in the bank account at the end of the month every day. So what does that look like? Because when we meet with sellers, we suggest a price, but we always, want to walk them through what we call our seller net sheet, just to help them understand what they're going to walk away with. So what does that look like?
Very important process. And again, we're doing the same thing. So once we establish the rental rate, now we have to look at things like fees and costs and maintenance expenses and things like that. So we walk all our owners through that process so that they understand at the end of the day, what are they going to be putting in their bank account to cover the debt services and the various things they need to pay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Tell us about the roles of the staff that you have and what they do.
I'd love to do it. First of all, let me just say, we're a small mom and pop company. Okay, there's only a handful of us there. It's not a big corporation. You have a nice, warm, friendly feel. Okay, at Charleston Home Rentals. But we do have dedicated roles, and we're team players, kind of like you are at Dave Friedman team.
Right.
So myself, I'm dealing with owners. I'm the business development manager, and so I'm kind of the concierge, if you will, for our owners. If there's any issues, they can call me and reach me at any time. But beyond me, we have a leasing staff, two wonderful people, Shelby and Brittany, who handle all of our tenant relations and our leasing questions and all those kinds of things. And owners work with them as well as we navigate through the showing process and finding them tenants. I have a dedicated controller who's a person who handles the books and does all the accounting. So if there's a question related to your statement or your statements on your properties, anything like that, James is the guy to call.
Okay.
And you have a dedicated fellow for that. And then of course we have a maintenance department, which handles all the maintenance and repairs and things like that. And there's a few people there. So again, everybody's got their roles, and we do them well.
Good. A lot of people, in my experience being in real estate, always ask us, Dave, do you specialize in a certain area? Do you specialize in certain price points? And so how does that work with Charleston Home Rentals? Do you generalize, or do you feel like you specialize?
Well, it's a great question, and we do have a market, right? There's properties that we focus on, and the bulk of our portfolio are single-family homes. That's the most of our properties are just various single-family homes throughout Charleston, Berkeley, and Dorchester County. That's our area that we cover. And but we do also manage a lot of townhomes, condominiums, things like that. Even duplexes, quadplexes, things like that. What we don't really do at Charleston Home Rentals are the big apartment buildings, things like that.
Sure.
It's more the family-oriented kind of stuff.
Is that to create a better, long-lasting relationship with your clients one-on-one, opposed to?
We've just found that for we're in the business of keeping properties rented long periods of times. Our owners want us to focus on no vacancies, right? In the rental world, vacancies are money pits. That's
Yeah.
what Matt, our owner, likes to say. They're money pits, and they are, because when it's not being rented, all the costs fall back on the owner or the investor. So we want to make sure that we're keeping them rented long periods of time, and we feel that we've really found our sweet spot in this market, if you will. And by the way, we're about 92% occupied right now, so that's strong in the rental world, especially in our particular market. And we do have a great record of getting people to renew year after year. 70% renewal rate. It's strong in there.
And that's huge. When you own a rental, if you haven't owned a rental before, that's something to think about, where if you have somebody move out, you might have 30 days where you don't have income, but you're still generally paying taxes, insurance, mortgage payments. So keeping that vacancy rate as low as possible is really key. And the best thing that you can do is just keep a tenant in place for a very long period of time. And vacancy rates can be 8 to 10% of your overall revenue as an expense. So what you're bringing up is really important and really good business strategy for your clients.
We focus even additionally on that. A lovely stat I love to say is that 50% of my properties have longer than a 1-year lease currently on them, right? So we're really good at trying to find tenants and advocating for tenants to sign maybe a 2-year lease or a 3-year lease. And for our investors who are looking for those long-term rentals in place, this is the key.
Yeah.
So they love those.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. If you're thinking about buying a rental, another thing that a lot of people don't understand is that, or if you're turning your current home into a rental, which some people will do, is your taxes will go up. So if you go to any of the county websites, if you simply Google Charleston County tax calculator, Berkeley County tax calculator, or Dorchester County tax calculator, you can put your tax area in on that website. Put your home value in there and make sure you change it from 4% to a 6%, which is non-owner occupied, and see what your taxes will change to. And that'll help with figuring out what your net would be if you turn your primary home, or if you find a rental that you want to buy and turn it into a rental. And a lot of people overlook that, and it has a substantial difference on the amount of money that you're going to bring home. But
it's a key thing, and it's a wonderful piece of advice to put out there, and it is true. Right? The minute that you move into an investment or rental scenario, even on your primary home, there are some changes that occur. And so we want to make sure that we walk our owners through all of what we call the debt service here. It's the mortgage and the HOA fees and tax changes and all those things, so that we really understand that bottom line, right?
Yeah.
That's important. We even additionally recommend, maybe a 2 to 5% holdback, just to give another piece of advice out there for someone who's thinking about this, just for unexpected maintenance costs or things like that can pop up during the term of the lease.
Yeah.
So we might want to hold 2 to 5% of rental income back just for that. It's a rainy day fund, we call it,
Sure.
in case something pops up.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to get in touch with you, what do they do? What are the first steps?
Great, thank you. Great question. So we're super easy to find. First of all, our tagline is, we're the Be Happy Renting people, right? So BeHappyRenting.com is our website, but we're Charleston Home Rentals. So you can get there either way, CharlestonHomeRentals.com or BeHappyRenting.com. Well, you'll find us. And my email address, I'll just throw it out there, is my first name, Darin, Darin, @BeHappyRenting.com. So if there's anybody, your clients, an investor, an owner that's thinking about leasing a property, of course they can reach through your agents, of course. We love getting referrals through you guys. So if you have anybody that comes to you, as you always do, send them our way, and we love to take care of them.
Well, you certainly get all of our referrals.
Yes,
and
we
they'll
know
keep
that.
coming your way. So, Darin, I appreciate you coming on, because these are a lot of great questions that we hear all the time, and this is a great way to get some great information from you, some expertise, and hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching today, and hope everyone has a great day.